Yo, what is going on, guys? Vanguard Nightly News crew coming back to you guys with week 9 of Vanguard Nightly News. Again, we have our host, Mr. James Autumn, Mr. Shark Hunter DFS, Mr. Panda Stampede TV, and of course, my name is VG. As always, guys, we're going to get right into this. Our usual first segment, football. Shark?
We had originally had 3 games that were supposed to be played on Thursday for Thursday Night Football, but one was pushed back, which, of course, that game has still not been played yet.
Ravens, Steelers.
Because of a bunch of COVID, and basically the Ravens want to get their whole team back before they start playing. They don't want to play without Lamar Jackson, but
basically,
yeah. So, anyways,
talk about that on Facebook. Actually, it said the Ravens don't want to play until Lamar's back and Ben Roethlisberger retires.
They need it.
Yeah. So the first game was the Texans versus the Lions. Texans basically were able to pass all over the Lions. Deshaun Watson, 17-25, 318, and 4 touchdowns. Will Fuller, 6 catches for 171 and 2 touchdowns. Sounds like a good game as long as you're on PEDs, which he recently just got suspended for, I believe, the rest of the season for testing positive for PEDs. So, good job. You got
damn, and he was having a good season, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's because he had performance enhancement drugs.
Right.
Well, when you think about it, every single season he's always been hurt. Every single season he's been out multiple weeks. This year he's never been hurt, and it's had an amazing year. And look what's happening.
Brandon Cooks, sir, you're on the clock. Let's see some good plays. I need you for fantasy.
Brandon Cooks had 5 catches for 85 yards in the game as well, and then CJ Prosise and Duke Johnson, running backs, of course, had a touchdown each for the Texans. Texans also forced 3 turnovers on 3 straight drives as well. It was, I believe, 2 fumbles and an interception.
I watched the game. It was sad.
Oh, yeah. And then Adrian Peterson looked like his old self with 2 touchdowns, which he didn't get the yards, but hell, 2 touchdowns at
2 touchdowns. That's
years out,
yeah.
5 years old now is kind of a big deal. And then we had TJ Hawkinson, who stepped up on the receiving side, 5 catches for 89 yards. So,
and also
that was the early game.
Yeah, that was Thanksgiving Day, early game. What followed this game a few days later was Matt Patricia and Rob Quinn are no longer part of the Lions organization.
Yep.
Yikes. Both fired in the same day. So Lions fans are rejoicing. They all praised Deshaun Watson for getting them fired.
It wasn't even their fault, though. They got put in a terrible situation when they got there.
They really did, but I don't know. Maybe I don't feel Patricia should have been fired. I feel Quinn should have been fired before Patricia, but
I think both should.
By my understanding, Quinn was the one who was talking about the Slay trade and everything, and Patricia didn't want that.
Because he's a defensive guy. Patricia knows when he has good defense people.
If you get rid of the best defensive player, then it's stupid in general. So I feel like he should have went, got a new GM, and then they should have tried that.
That season
like
out.
2 years.
Or so. I totally agree. I don't think Patricia was a problem. I think it was more Quinn than anything, but we'll see kind of how this goes.
I don't think Patricia was the issue, but with how the NFL is, like, it doesn't surprise me that he's fired, because everyone gets fired after 2 years now. Like,
2 years and you don't have a positive season?
Yeah, like, the thing is, like, with the NFL now, like, you sign a 4-year contract. If you don't produce in the first 2 seasons, they already cut you. And I'm just like, I don't like that, just because, like, what's the point of the 4-year contract then? But, because, like, you really can't turn a full team around in 2 years, within 2 years, or even technically
terribly defined team already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So,
but I don't know. We'll see. Who's the interim head coach for right now?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's who it is. I don't know.
That's essentially like putting like Baker Mayfield with Julio Jones without any running back.
Basically.
They know who the ball's gonna go to. Defenses are shit.
Also, why aren't they running AP more? Dude's looking good.
So they're trying to use DeAndre Swift the most.
Mm-hmm.
Who of course is their youngster and everything, but he was hurt. But they still like Kerryon Johnson, and they know that.
Kerryon fumbled
Like,
twice though, didn't he?
Once.
Okay. Who was the other fumble?
They're they're quote unquote fourth string, but he was their third string for that game.
No, I believe he fumbled twice.
Oh, did he?
I thought he did.
I thought it was
Because I watched that game too, and it was like, Kerryon Johnson looked better. He's looked better before.
Houston made the same running back fumble twice.
Oh.
They had a running back on their team actually fumble, I believe, on the next play. Like, it was back-to-back plays that it was a fumble.
Another thing, J.J. Watt got another touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Got another pick six off Matt Stafford. Jumped up and snagged that bitch.
To be honest, I could have been looking out of my left eye and picked that ball off.
I was trying to bring up the thing to see. Oh, well, fuck it. Too late.
Well,
I believe
moving
it was the
forward,
same running back, so.
I think it was too. Moving forward, we got the Washington football team versus them boys. Washington football team takes it 41-16. Surprised?
No.
I mean, let's talk about them boys. I mean, they're so good. They won last week, right?
Yeah.
They won last week.
Did
They're
they?
going to NFC East. They're going to win the NFC East.
They're going to the Super
Who's
Bowl.
in the lead of that right now, isn't it? Washington, right?
Yeah, I think.
Giants.
Oh, really?
The Giants are still in the...
Giants, because they had the tiebreaker, I believe.
Mm.
That's the only reason why.
You gonna let Washington run over you like that?
I mean, either
Look how good they've been playing all year. Like, I don't know how they wouldn't be doing this.
Like, and that's the thing is, like, you knew Alex Smith could throw the ball, but like they've been living and dying by the run. So like you knew they were going to run the ball. So like, how can you not stop that?
Because Dallas doesn't have a defense.
They suck. They suck. Just like another team that we'll talk about later.
Hey, be nice to my team.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
just
talking-
saying.
Yeah, it's not the Eagles I'm talking about.
Gibson had 20 for 115 and 3 TDs. What the fuck are y'all doing? How are he gonna outperform Zeke? Y'all pay him that much money.
Exactly.
That's the other point that I want. Like, Zeke is getting paid so much, and I remember Timmy used to talk about like
too much money on those tattoos and those fucking piercings. He's not even worried about his play anymore.
Dude, he's got to get the big bowls of cereal. He's got to eat.
Yeah,
It was
gotta get the big
Thanksgiving.
bowls of cereal, and he's fucking putting like a fucking what the hell is that? A little bowl shit in his nose, where it goes from the
Oh,
inside
yeah.
of his nose.
Yeah.
So,
I
Get this up, thank you.
you need to start paying some defensive people. Don't pay a running back that's not producing.
How about
Pay
you
defense.
work in the off season instead of sitting there fucking eating all the cereal?
Oh my god.
And he's like, I'm not gonna fumble again the 1 week, and then he fumbles 2 more times in the first 3 quarters. 2 quarters, was it? I don't know.
I believe.
They're going to probably hold on to Zeke because they think that he is the franchise of Dallas. But I don't see it. I don't see him producing any more than what he's done already. I think that as a whole, Zeke is kind of reached his peak with Dallas. Mind you, I'll give him the fact that they don't have an offensive line right now. But that shouldn't matter. If you're getting paid that much, like, you find a hole and you go.
Oh yeah.
You got 16 points, like, right? So you got to have some offensive line. They got to work some point.
Yeah.
Zeke
They
had
just need to
32
they
yards.
need to produce. Well, Zeke is just fucking trash. He's not looking for the open holes. He's just trying to run into people.
Because he thinks he's a bowling ball. Anyway, Scary
The
Terry.
first year, he was patient.
I agree. But Scary Terry went at 7 catches for 92 yards. And now the Cowboys highlights. I like this shark, by the way. This is a great segment.
Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick on screen.
This is a great segment here. Dallas, though, couldn't get anything started. Dalton had 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he threw a pick 6. Now,
One
no.
of those touchdowns was a pick 6.
what?
He threw for 2 touchdowns.
That's what you meant by that? Okay. So Dalton only threw for 1 touchdown, and he got picked off They took it to the house. I never thought that Washington had a good defense, but obviously, I mean, I don't know. It was against the Cowboys, so. Anyways, Zeke had 32 yards and a fumble. Question mark. Is this confirmed, Shark?
Yeah, he had a fumble, but I was basically saying, like, are you surprised that he fumbled?
No. Cooper actually did have a good game, though. 6 catches, 112 yards, and a touchdown. Amari Cooper is the only one that is, like, consistently producing when he's healthy.
Hey, Chase, go ahead and show this because this shows everything here.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The Cowboys still suck. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
There you go.
That perfect. Timmy's gonna be pissed. Honestly, not a good game. Not a good game for the Cowboys. Washington looking good. It's honestly between the Giants and the Washington football team at this point for the NFC East.
Yeah, I think I called the Giants winning like earlier.
I think you did.
When everyone was like, "Oh, Cowboys or Eagles with 5 wins," and I'm like, "Okay."
I'm still taking Eagles or Washington football team.
I'm taking Washington football team or Eagles.
I'm not. Oh, of course you're taking the Eagles.
One of the two.
Yeah, but you're not gonna go. I'm taking like Washington
and Giants.
You're gonna be like, I'm taking this team and my team. Like,
exactly. Shark, you can go ahead.
So the very next game was the Sunday games, of course. So the Raiders versus the Falcons. Final score was Raiders 6, Falcons 43. Basically, Raiders was just a giant oof, to be honest. Had 5 turnovers. There really wasn't anything to really talk about. I know that Derek Carr threw for 200, but whenever you're losing 43-6,
it doesn't matter how much you throw, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
so I mean, I know the other thing really about the Raiders in this game, Hunter Renfrow had like 7 catches, but again, there's a reason why he had that many catches. Josh Jacobs did get hurt in this game, and they came out and said how severe the injury is. So we will find out about that. They said to be safe, obviously, go and pick up his backup, Devontae. I think it's Booker. Is it Booker? Yeah, I think it's with Devontae Booker.
Y'all see, talking about Josh Jacobs, y'all see this man throw a Falcons defender?
Mm-hmm.
That shit was funny as fuck.
I saw that at work, and that was nuts. It's like, okay.
He's like, all right, it's big boy time.
On the Falcons side, Julio Jones was out. Todd Gurley was out. Basically, no problem for them. They actually played better without both of them, so might as well go ahead and trade them. Matt Ryan.
I agree. I can agree with that one.
22 for 39, 185, and 2 touchdowns.
I'll take Julio to Buffalo.
I'll take Gurley to Eagles. Thank you.
Edel Smith stepped up. It was actually, quote unquote, supposed to be Brian Hill who was supposed to step up, but Edel Smith came up big, 65 yards and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley 6 for 50 and a touchdown. And then their kicker Koo was 5 for 5 on field goals, with the longest one being 51 yards, I believe. So,
he's a automatic, I feel, when he goes to kick. Like, I don't think he's missed this season.
I would have to look exactly to be sure, but he's been really good.
He was a solid pickup for Atlanta, who I think was struggling with field goal kickers past couple seasons.
Ever since they got rid of Matt Bryant
as
their kicker. So it's really about it for that game. There's going to be a couple other games that are going to be really short like that.
Mm-hmm.
But our next game, of course, with our boy Panda over here, I'm sure he watched it, but Chargers versus the Bills, 17-27, Bills winning. Justin Herbert, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, needs help from the running backs and defense. Now, of course,
Eckler played well still. Like
Eckler ran.
He did well.
Yeah. Rushing wise, I think the whole team ran for a total of 90 yards, I believe.
And Buffalo actually picked up on their rush tackling this week.
Yeah, but Eckler, like he said, came back. He still had 11 catches for 85 yards, which fantasy-wise is really good. He returned as basically an RB1. Other receivers did well as well. Yeah, I was making sure that sounds right. Other receivers, yeah. Sure
You got it. It sounds right.
It sounds weird.
It sounds weird, but it's right. You're good.
Hunter Henry had 7 catches for 67 yards. Keenan Allen 4 for 40 and a touchdown. And then on the Bill side, Josh Allen and Cole Beasley basically were quarterbacks. Both of them were playing. Both threw for a touchdown in the game. Singletary actually stepped up in this game after a couple weeks where Buffalo struggled from their running backs. He had 11 carries for 82 yards. And then Gabriel Davis stepped up with John Brown being out. Had 3 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown. So,
one of those catches was a really good catch over a defender, too.
Yes, I remember that one.
Also, Singletary did have a fumble, too. And I think that's just more because of lack of running.
Yeah.
In practice, you don't have contact right now due to COVID, so...
That's just...
We'll talk about the practice and COVID here in a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're...
I just actually... I saw that on ESPN. I got a notification from it.
But no, like I was saying, because like a lack of practice or lack of contact in practice could lead to like
fumbles,
kind of sloppy play.
I agree.
That doesn't make up for Zeke, by the way.
No.
Any other things you have on this game? Panda?
No, I just think Gabe Davis played really well coming in.
He's a really good rookie.
He's
I know
tall.
he's from Central Florida, I believe.
He's tall.
He played pretty well. This was his first game, right? First game he actually.
He's
played a couple, yeah. But there's one or two others that he had like a game like this where he's had a touchdown. But I would say this is probably the wake up call that everyone's kind of like, all right, like this
get
guy
him
is
in the
actually
lineup
there.
more. Yeah, like he's legit.
The first play, I think they were running deep. I think it was to Gabe Davis. He went to go throw it to him, and the receiver. Oh no, it was to Stephon Diggs. And he got pushed down or pushed back. So they threw the flag for pass interference, and then Knox got the touchdown, which first touchdown for Knox this season.
And that's one thing I hate is like stat wise, like you never see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like someone just be like, oh, pass interference in the end zone, 1 yard line, wherever, and you're just like, oh well, stat line never shows that, but
Thanks.
this guy has a touchdown now, so yeah. But
yeah,
there's a lot of those.
That was Knox's first one due to being out, I think, for probably like 5 or 6 weeks with on like the COVID injured reserve list.
But moving on to the next game, we had the Giants versus the Beagles. I mean, honestly, the game was just boring. Of course, Beagles now without Joe Burrow, so they're moving on. Daniel
Next
Jones
man up.
Daniel Jones did leave the game with a hamstring injury. Wayne Gallman, 24 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. Evan Ingram and Shepard both had good games. Evan Ingram, 6 catches for 129. Shepard, 7 catches for 64 yards.
Sterling Shepard has been a solid wide receiver so far for New York.
Yeah.
Him and Slayton.
Yes. That's basically their future.
Yep.
It's what they're...
And Ingram. I like to include Ingram into that because he's been producing consistently since he's been there when he's been healthy.
Agreed.
So those 3 people are the future of New York Giants.
On the Bengals side, I believe it was Brandon Allen who got the start instead of Ryan Finley. In my opinion, but it's what they think. T. Higgins was really the only one to really talk about in this game. 5 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown.
They stayed
Not
with
much
them
else
though.
in this game at all. So yeah.
They stayed with them, 19-17. Not. It's,
oh yeah, because the Giants are such a powerhouse.
What?
Sorry. Well, I mean, they're leading the NFC.
They're leading the NFC East, the trash can. So.
That's
So
the best division in football.
Hell yeah, it is.
Jeez, I can't.
Isn't this golf?
Yep.
So, very next game, we had Titans versus the Colts. Titans winning 45-26. So, how about
James
them
is
Colts?
happy.
Yeah. How about them
that
Colts? I remember someone talking about how the Colts were such a good team, So
I think that was Grip. Grip was really talking about the Colts being pretty
How
good.
good were they? Excuse me.
Yeah.
How good were
Well,
they?
here I'll tell you. So the Colts had
Yeah, tell me.
56 rushing yards. I mean, that's really nice. 56 total offense or total rushing yards.
Mhm.
They also allowed 3 rushing touchdowns to Derrick
Mhm.
Henry, which supposedly they figured out how to stop this great rushing guy and everything, but literally comes back less than 2 weeks later, and he made you all his bitch basically. So
Dude okay. I
They
saw
could've
this
opened up
stat.
holes for Shark over there. Shark would have been running down the field.
I saw this stat, and it was like, Derrick Henry is like the 3rd player in franchise history or whatever to have 100 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and the other 3 before him were Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. This dude has done this 3 times, and you say that you have him under locks or whatever. Your defense can't handle Derrick Henry.
Thing is, division games are supposed to be like harder for both teams.
Yep.
This probably felt
What?
like a practice for the Titans.
Practice like from starters to like the fucking
3rd string.
3rd string practice guys.
It's like, hey, the JV that came up for playoffs, you guys are gonna sit out there, okay?
and and you think someone had 3 rushing touchdowns, you're thinking he either didn't get a lot of yards or he just completely broke off on you. And I mean, in this game, Derrick Henry basically just broke off on him, 178 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That's sad.
I understand that we've talked multiple times about how good this guy is, how big he is, and everything, but
Quad's the size of my head.
quad about the size of my body. So it's just this dude's a freak, and
He's making it known why he should be the best running back in the league.
oh yeah, I would agree. But also on the game,
Oh yeah, other things happened, didn't they?
oh yeah, AJ Brown had 4 catches for 98 yards, one
Just
receiving
ran it.
touchdown for 69 yards. Yes, that was really nice. 69-yard touchdown by AJ Brown, and then he also had a kickoff return for a touchdown because they decided, hey, let's try to come back in this game, and then decided not to tackle him, and he returns it for a touchdown.
It was inside. I think it was like 44 yards.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I'm out. Peace, guys. You can't keep up with me on defense. You're not doing it on special
I
teams.
mean, the Colts are the best, They're just the best.
Yeah.
Can we derail it for a moment and just, give out some shout outs and love to Corey Davis for playing after his brother died the day before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
For real. He didn't do practice or nothing. He went straight into the game and still played. So
And
just to derail it.
He's a good player all around.
Yep.
So
I'd have to go back and look. I believe he had
67 yards or so.
67? Okay.
Nice.
67. So, yeah,
So
he
he
had a
still
good
busted ass, man.
Oh, yeah.
I just had to bring that up because
definitely.
on my mind when I watched the game. Is like, oh shit, this
praying for him, man. I mean, I know
Yeah,
definitely in these
exactly.
hard times like this, that is something that not a lot of players can do.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people who literally just don't play, which
I totally get it.
It's not something like, hey, you have to play or anything, or this person did, so now you have to. It's nothing like that. We get it.
Last year, San Francisco 49er wide receiver. His I can't remember his name. Was it Goodwin? I think it was Marquise Goodwin. His son died before the game, as he was born, and he still balled out. And
It was the day before he died during birth.
Day before he died, and I think when players do play after a tragedy like that happens, they have that extra burst of I'm gonna do this for them, and I give mad props to those players that do play after these tragedies and stuff like that.
Just earlier this year, James White didn't play because his dad and mom were in that car wreck, and his dad died on impact, and his mom was rushed to literally
in critical condition.
And it took him. I know he missed that week, and I think the week after, and then he kind of wasn't even the same for the first couple weeks that he was back. But Last week he had a touchdown, and we'll talk about like what he did this week as well. So,
All right.
I do
so
want to
like-
say that I don't know if it was a post or pre-interview, but I do have it pulled up here where he actually was like talking about his brother and said that since I was a little kid, I was always chasing after him and trying to be like him. And he says, I wore his number every year to copy him. He thought it was annoying, but I looked up to him tremendously. That was my idol, my hero. I tried to honor him tonight, and damn if
he did.
now. Seriously.
Honestly. But prayers up to Corey Davis and his family. I hope everyone's doing well.
To lighten up the mood, I'm just gonna put this up here because that got into that depressive state.
that's true.
You
That
know,
is true.
and I saw in Shark's notes that he does the little parentheses after TY's name. Because I didn't even know this dude was still in the league. I'll be honest.
Yeah, he's still there. He's had really bad games. T.Y. Hill. He did come back in this game. Did actually have a good game. This one, 4 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. But this is all the Naheem Hines show.
He runs that team.
The backfield. So Colts, like our Colts fans, they are not the best team. So we'll just go ahead and move on.
But can we talk
Moving
about
on.
that tackle in the third quarter? Like, I can't remember who was running the ball, but like the Titans defense guy just ran up and knocked him like 10 feet back.
Oh, I know.
I didn't actually see that one. I'm
Oh, it was
sad. That was
amazing.
nowhere on Twitter. I'm upset. Twitter, fix it. Fix the algorithm.
So the very next game, we had the Panthers versus the Vikings. Panthers 27, Vikings 28. Panthers choked under pressure, gave up a touchdown. They were still up 3 with 5:31. They kicked the field goal, of course, to go up 6 with 1:51, and then gave up a touchdown with 46 seconds left. And then literally got down the field after the kickoff, lined up for the field goal. I think it was like a 51 or 54 yarder, and missed the field goal to win the game.
Hey, usually these roles are reversed. The Vikings usually miss the field goal to go to the playoffs. Remember that against the Seahawks?
Yeah.
And then he got cut the next season.
Yeah, he did. I remember that.
Felt bad
Yeah,
for him, but...
They actually brought him back.
Hmm?
They originally brought him back, yeah, and then
Really?
he didn't work out, and they got rid of him again, yeah.
Oh well. Live and
but
learn.
No Adam Thielen this game. Basically no problem. Adam Thielen, of course, being out this week and possibly next week. I can't remember. But with COVID, so Justin Jefferson stepped up, had 7 catches, 70 yards, and 2 touchdowns. There was 3 other receivers. O. Johnson, Kyle Rudolph, and I can't remember the other one. All had 7 catches as well. On Carolina's side, the positive about them, besides losing, was forced 3 fumbles. Robbie Anderson led the team with 4 catches, 94 yards, and a touchdown as well. So I think Panthers are going into bye week this week. I think they'll be fine. I don't think there's really anything to worry about because they're supposed to be getting Christian McCaffrey back. There was rumor that he was ruled out this week, of course, but they were saying that he was basically cleared to play.
He'll be back next week.
There's
or
no point of
this week.
playing him the week before a bye week, risking the chance of him being out again. And yeah, he's basically the franchise player now, so rest him. Why not? Moving on to the next game, we had the Cardinals versus the Pats. There wasn't much in this game. Kenyon Drake had a nice second game back, 78 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Cam Newton struggled with 2 interceptions. James White, who we mentioned before, returns after everything, kind of returns back to himself. Had 2 rushing touchdowns, so that's 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks now.
Good shit.
And then Nick Folk kicked the game-winning field goal as time expired with 50 yards out. So there wasn't much else.
This game wasn't huge. I mean, Kenyon Drake coming back is very nice.
It's crazy to say that to me it's weird that we don't talk about Patriots like we used to.
Of course not, because
with
there's
Brady
star boy.
gone. Yeah, with Brady gone, it was to me. Yeah, how'd that feel?
Oh, I hurt like a motherfucker, but continue.
Well, I mean, with Brady there, it was literally like there wasn't a dull moment. Like even if like the
They
Patriots
lost, there was still something to talk about.
yes, and then here we are getting hurt by punching the desk or something. You know, so,
I didn't even punch it. It was literally like I set my hand down and somehow I like scraped my knuckle on the side of my desk and that hurt like a bitch.
I remember my first time having a desk, but it's okay.
Oh, dude, I know, right?
So, very next game we had
Good
the
desk though, very sturdy.
Dolphins versus the Jets was the next game. Miami Dolphins winning 20-3, kind of as expected.
I don't care about either.
Yeah.
I watched it, but I didn't care.
I watched it. It was there was nothing magic happened.
Well, I mean, Fitzmagic did play, so
Fitzmagic happened, but no magic
so-
on the field.
oh yeah, so no Tua in this game. He was actually injured in this game, or for the game. So of course Ryan Fitzmagic took over, 24 for 39, 257, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Parker, 8 catches, 119 yards. Sam Darnold returned and had 197 yards and 2 interceptions. Positive side, Frank Gore, 74 rushing yards. I don't know if you know, but his son actually is in college playing right now, which is crazy to think that this guy has been in the league for that long.
What
for his
is
son to be a freshman and playing for Southern Miss, I believe.
What would be crazy? I think Gore's doing this on purpose. I think now that his son is in college, I think he just wants to stay in the NFL. So then he has the possibility to play against his son.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
That would be
like,
dope.
The thing is, like we were saying, like how long he's been in the league, just for your son to basically grow up, and now is playing at a D1 college as you're still playing.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. But it's crazy in my eyes. Denzel Mims, are the rookie receiver that they are cherishing right now, had 4 catches for 67 yards. And also on the positive side, Jets did force 2 fumbles. So
Good shit, Jets.
Really but yeah. Next game we had Browns versus Jags. It's a lot closer than I honestly expected the Browns to run away with this game. Baker Mayfield 258 and 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb 144 and a touchdown. And then Jarvis Landry actually had a really good game since Odell leaving, with 8 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's new number 1. He's gotta, honestly, like, he's gotta pick up the slack that OBJ kind of left on the field.
And yeah, and that's the thing is, but like, of course, you have to think like he's taking he's becoming the number 1, of course, with OBJ out. So like he's gonna be going up against the tougher cornerbacks.
He's still doing pretty.
It was just,
I can't. It's against the Jags. I don't even know if their defense is good. I remember when they were like, I think this was what, last year, 2 years ago, whatever. When everyone was like, "Oh, dude, Jags have got the powerhouse defensive group."
Before they got rid of Ramsey.
Yeah, before they got rid of Ramsey. So, Jarvis is a good player. I think he does better without OBJ.
oh yeah, I think the issue with them, in my opinion, is they have a lot of mouths to feed. Like you have Nick Chubb, you have Kareem Hunt, you have OBJ when of course healthy, you have Jarvis Landry, you have Austin Hooper, you still have Njoku. Like there's 6 targets just right there, without basically naming, outside of Kareem Hunt, a backup. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't consider Kareem. Like, they both get equal reps, I think.
and that's just what I think is crazy is that like if you put Kareem Hunt on another team, he's starting.
Mhm.
Not anywhere, but
A team, like you take him to Philly, oh yeah, he's starting.
yes.
Well, anyone will start at Philly, just saying. Seriously, anybody, come on.
So on the Jags side, Mike Glenn actually got the start in this game. He went 20 for 35, 235, and 2 touchdowns. It's been forever since I have said his name. I remember whenever he was in fucking Tampa Bay, and then he went to, I think it was New England, I believe.
Did he? Yeah, maybe?
I can't remember.
I remember the name.
I know he went to Oakland.
Yeah, he was in Oakland at one point.
But he's bounced around forever. But James Robinson, I think honestly at this point, it's between him and probably Justin Herbert for Rookie of the Year.
Great fantasy player, by the way.
22 rushes, 128 yards, and a touchdown. And before this game, I don't ever really remember him being a pass catcher, but 5 catches for 31 yards in this game as well. So
I think he's one of those hybrid ones that if you need him to, he'll go out for a screen pass or whatever. But he is all around a very good running back for the Jags, and they should keep him unlike Leonard Fournette. That I don't know. I never understood why they got rid of Fournette.
Supposedly they were buddy heads with coaches and everything.
Okay,
that's about as much as I heard. So, moving on to the next game. The next couple are going to be a couple snooze fests, but Saints versus Broncos. Saints win 31-3, kind of as you would expect. After you hear the Broncos quarterbacks, all of them practice squad, all the way up to their starters and everyone on basically on the depth chart, all were tested positive for COVID and tracing of COVID as well. So Broncos actually had to go into the game without no quarterback. I know that they appealed to try to get their quarterback coach to play quarterback, which you're allowed to at least appeal it.
Are you serious?
Because he's technically, you have to list your coaches on the roster as well. So technically, he is on the roster. So, of course, they tried to pull that, and they got denied. So, practice squad receiver Hinton, I believe he went to Houston. I have to go back and look.
That's fucking hilarious, dude. I feel so bad for the Broncos, but, to know that they almost had their wide receiver or their quarterback coach throwing the ball, that just makes everything so much better.
I'll get to my opinion on the whole quarterback situation there, but receiver Hinton, of course, stepped up, which congratulations to him. He was on the practice squad, and now he got to be on the NFL team and everything, start and everything. But went 1 for 9, 2 interceptions. I think this is the second or third time since I can't remember what year it was, but that anyone's passed for 1 or less yards or 1 or less completions. On the other side, Taysom Hill, 2 rushing touchdowns. Latavius Murray had a big game, 19 carries for 124, 2 touchdowns. And then Saints defense forced 3 turnovers. Of course, they had 2 interceptions, but they also had a fumble as well.
So is Breeze out for the season?
I think he'll be back right before playoffs, probably. Which obviously is not far away, but
I feel bad for Jameis Winston, but Saints are producing pretty well with Taysom Hill at quarterback.
Play better in practice. They have to start you then. You do better in practice, you force them to play you more. My situation with the Broncos' whole quarterback situation is...
They're a broken team.
Well, yes, but it's ridiculous in my behalf. You are on the roster. You didn't go to college to play. You didn't go to high school and play football. You didn't go to college to play football, and you didn't get drafted and all this stuff to just basically do whatever the fuck you want. You as a backup and everything, you dream for the day that you get that start. That you just get to it doesn't matter if it was you were gifted it or if it was you've played your butt off or anything. But you basically threw away your chances and was basically a child for not wearing your mask and all this stuff during all this stuff that the NFL tells you during practice that you need to wear a mask, you need to do all this stuff. And you waste your opportunity. So, as a starter, Drew Lock, in my opinion, you need to be a better leader, first of all, because, if this is happening now, why, as a running back, receiver, O-line, would I want you as my captain? You can't even listen to simple things.
I agree.
As for the backup quarterbacks, no matter, I know Blake Bortles was one. I know he's been in the league. which in my opinion, you're trying to get back to being a starter again. Obviously,
Bortles will never be a starter again. In this day and age, I don't think that he's ever getting that.
I agree, but you're still trying to become that person.
You're trying to get at least back in the league enough to where you get paid as a backup.
Hell, fucking Joe Flacco started for weeks. It's just, in my opinion, you need to be more of an adult. Fucking, if that means that you have to fucking wear a mask during practice, you're getting paid to play football. Just listen to the fucking rules. I mean, honestly,
you're getting paid to play a sport, and you're also getting paid to stand there at practice and throw the ball every so often. You can't get hit. You just go through plays. That is practices now. So, would it kill you to just... never mind. Continue.
Anyway,
just move forward.
You see where I'm going.
Yep, just move forward.
Take the high road.
Yep. Just keep...
The next game we had...
All right,
You're good. Next game we had 49ers versus the Rams. 49ers win 23-20. Mostert and Samuel both return. Mostert getting a rushing touchdown on his first game back, and then Deebo Samuel on his, I believe this time being back, but 11 catches, 133 yards. So they missed them both, obviously, a lot. Rookie Cam Akers, 84 yards and a touchdown. So that was a good thing for him as the rookie, as they still have a three-headed backfield in LA for both teams, really. I mean, 7 total turnovers in the games. San Francisco interception and 2 fumbles, and LA with 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. So it was a sloppy game, to be honest. So I don't. There wasn't much else to talk about this game.
Nope, not much. I mean, the fact that there was 7 turnovers in this game overall, it's at that point right there, that is the highlight of this game.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if you sit here and be like, hey, San Francisco had an interception, 2 fumbles. Okay, it doesn't really surprise me that much with how many.
Is Sherman back yet?
I
think is Richard Sherman back? I think he is.
He came, but that was his first game back.
Yeah, so it's still there should
he had the interception for San Francisco.
Okay. So
good game back for Sherman, baby.
Oh yeah. Did you say you needed to hop off, Panda?
Yeah, I'm gonna be out now. Hopefully the rest of this goes well. Take care, guys.
Yep.
Hopefully
Say Panda. Yep. Next up on the list, we got the Chiefs versus the Bucks. 27-24. Chiefs take it. Anyone surprised that the Chiefs are still on a roll here? Shark, I know this is your team. What do you got to say about it?
I mean, I expected the Chiefs to win.
I think we all did.
Yeah, I think most of the world's thought the Chiefs were going to win. But
think they can hit it back-to-back Super Bowl wins?
They can, yes. But I don't think they are.
I don't think they are this year.
I was going to say it's 50-50 right there when it comes to
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 50-50. I mean, they can or can't probably at that point. I don't see them winning this year. But at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, with how COVID was this year and everything. You basically had the exact same team as you did last year, so that's why I could see it happening mainly. But they're good too. They're really good.
Mahomes, of course, doing his Mahomes thing. He had 37 for 49, 462 yards and 3 touchdowns, basically slinging it all over the field, and Tyreek Hill catching all 3 of those touchdowns.
Yep.
Dude, Tyreek Hill is amazing.
Oh, yes. He's quick as can be.
13 receptions for 269 yards. Bucks tried. I'll be honest. They tried to contain him, but it's really hard to contain Tyreek Hill, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
And Kelsey, he had an alright game, 8 receptions for 82 yards. Brady actually having a decent game. 27 for 41, 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, but he had 2 interceptions on the day, which, all in all, you look at the score, it didn't hurt them that bad, but I feel like if he didn't get that second interception maybe, or whatever, this could have gone as a toss-up, as Bucks could have taken it. Gronk having a solid game for himself, 6 receptions for 106 yards. Chris Godwin, 8 receptions for 97 yards, and Mike Evans doing his thing with 3 receptions for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dude is an animal in the red zone. It's that simple.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think
this was like his first, like,
games?
good,
3
yeah,
or 4 games?
like one of his better games that he's had. Because, I mean, I've had him on fantasy this whole season, and he's been a toss-up on if he's going to actually have a good game or if he's just going to have a mediocre, catch the ball 3 times, 50 yards, no touchdowns.
Yeah, so there wasn't much else in the game besides that. Like I said, as a Bucs fan, like, it was kind of expected. Someone was asking me, and I said, honestly, stack in DFS-wise, I was like, stack Kansas City. Like, until the Bucs prove that they can stop teams again, you stack against them. Passing
the only games that I would maybe say 50-50 is that Raiders-Chiefs game. Like, that would have been the only game to bet.
I don't understand. Like, I understand that they're in the same
division, but
like,
the Raiders?
every single time, like, yeah. And we already talked about them earlier, about how they did, so it was kind of surprising. You get one side or the other.
Raiders is literally a flip of the coin. What side gonna land on? Heads? Oh, they win. Tails? Oh shit, they took a shit on the field.
There's absolutely no middle ground between the Raiders. They're either really good and they can compete with anyone, or they look like this.
They look like a high school football team.
Yeah.
Well,
moving
last
on
game.
to the last game, yeah. So, with the Ravens and Steelers game, of course, being postponed again until Wednesday, Seahawks versus the Eagles. Seahawks winning 23-17. Seahawks starting to getting healthy again. Chris Carson returns 41 yards and a touchdown.
Chris Carson is another one of those key factors in Seattle, I feel. So when he's healthy, it's like a machine. They're just going to keep rolling.
I'd agree. Russell Wilson to DK Metcalf is another one of the key things here.
I don't want to talk about it.
22 for 31 and 230 and a touchdown. And DK Metcalf, 10 catches for 177 yards. But, like, you may not want to talk about it, but the thing is, like, y'all really haven't stopped anyone through the air.
We can't do shit. Our corners suck. Besides Slay, as an individual effort, Slay is amazing. Full team cornerbacks, we fucking suck.
And that's the thing, is, like,
God.
I mean, you can't be, like, I don't think you are, obviously, but, like, you can't be surprised about, like,
I'm not.
Like,
at this point, I'm not.
So,
this season, no.
Especially when it's DK Metcalf, like, dudes are
something that pissed me off, it was, I think it was after the game, Jim Schwartz, who is our defensive coordinator, he said to DK Metcalf, you're not Megatron yet, or something like that. Like, I was in Detroit, you're nowhere near Megatron yet. And I saw that, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. He's better. DK Metcalf, I feel, is going to be better than Megatron. Like, right now, they're about even, I'd say. Like, they're about even. I saw it on Twitter. It was a picture of Megatron stats to DK stats in the first some odd games or something like that. DK was actually better in the categories than Megatron was. So to say to this rising star, we'll call him that, because right now he is just rising and there's no limit to him at this point in time. He's going to surpass Megatron as this hybrid fucking beast, 6'5", fucking 250 wide receiver.
Yeah, it's crazy how good this guy is.
DK Metcalf is going to carry the Seattle team. Him, Russell Wilson, and Chris Carson.
Oh, yeah.
It's a trio, dude.
You still got Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett's a hit or miss every week.
But the thing is, and you add him as your fourth option,
That team is nasty. Like, I feel Seattle has a solid Super Bowl push this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I agree.
they are going to go far deep into the playoffs.
And like this is one of the teams like that I could see that could keep up with Kansas City. In my opinion.
Yes,
Like,
it's just a shootout at this point.
Yeah, neither team's really going to play defense. Neither has looked good. Now they've had their moments, of course, but I think both teams literally could keep up with one another. Which we already know that Kansas City could keep up with almost anyone, anyways. But yeah.
Moving forward, Russell Wilson had 22 for 31, 230 yards and touchdown. DK Metcalf just obliterated our secondary. 10 receptions for 177 yards. He almost got 200 yards on the day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about it. Wentz gets the start again. 25 yards, 25 for 45, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. I think this is like the 4th week in a row Wentz has thrown an interception.
But again,
you don't got receivers.
Yeah.
You don't have a team around him. That's why I think that Jalen Hurts needs to get a start. I think they should give him a chance at a start.
I can see it, yeah.
Why not? Y'all are like almost bottom of the barrel NFC East at this point.
It doesn't matter who's
It don't matter who's.
All four
are there. But give the kid a chance. Give the kid a chance.
I think Carson Wentz is still shining in practice, I'm assuming.
Probably.
And that's why they have it, and the main thing with it being is that everyone is still like within a game of each other, and that's why they haven't made the switch yet. Now, if like the Eagles were like 3 or 4 games back from the lead from first, I could see them probably already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's just like the Jags. Like the Jags already swapped twice.
You don't want to keep constantly swapping because then players are going to start to get upset about it. Like, no, I want him. Well, no, I want him. And then it's just going to become a fucking...
And that's the thing is, like, every quarterback throws different. Their speed is a little bit quicker or slower.
Fucking high school bathroom where all the gossip goes.
So, I think that's another reason why is, like, I think the Eagles don't want to mix anything up yet until, like, they're either out of the race or too far out of the race, and then so
Dallas Goedert, I agree with what you put. Dallas Goedert is going to be the future tight end number 1 for Philadelphia.
I'd agree.
With Zach Ertz getting older, and I watched Zach Ertz play.
Which I believe that he comes back next week.
Yep.
I think.
I think you're correct, but watching Zach Ertz play like the past year or so, like. I don't know. I think I've talked to Panda about this, but it's like sometimes like he just stops like running hard.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, that could be totally like he can tell the ball's kind of going out of bounds or whatever, like it's bad throw. I don't care. You finish the play.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And Dallas Goedert, I don't think he was drafted as like a receiving tight end, more to kind of replace Brent Selleck. Tight end as a blocker and somewhat catcher. So when I see Dallas Goedert 7 for 75 yards and a touchdown, that gives me hope for the future on, okay, maybe this kid is more than just a blocking tight end.
Well, like you also got to think that him and Carson Wentz both played at North Dakota State together.
Mm-hmm. So they have that connection, kind of like
they already have this connection, and like you don't have to build that connection with one another because they already have
Who had that connection? Was it Antonio Gates and
Phillip
Rivers?
They always had a thing. I mean, Brady and Gronk always had a thing together.
No, I was thinking of another, because I always remember in Madden when you threw it to, I don't even remember, but it was like, oh yeah, they've been doing that since college.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know
if they went to college together.
Something like that. It don't matter at that point. But to see Dallas Goedert doing good is a good sign for Philly fans, especially myself. Like seeing him have a good game just shows that, okay, we're kind of set at tight end for the future. We're going to still have Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is going to probably stay in Philly until he retires, unless we trade him away. But To have Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert both healthy and they run a 2 tight end set, that's deadly.
I'd agree.
That's just in my opinion.
If Zach Ertz returns to what he was.
If he returns to what he was, yes. I agree. But that kind of wraps up our football section. We got a little bit of gaming talk to talk about, I believe. I know
Let's do it.
Mr. James Autumn has been enjoying himself recently in a few games as I hit my mic and I have to turn my light brighter because it is very dark in here for some reason. But Mr. James Autumn, can I hear your honest review of Ubisoft's new game Phoenix Rising?
Oh boy.
I know I've been seeing you
put me
play
on the
that a little
spot.
bit. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah. So first off, I mean, it's that typical Ubisoft fashion of their open world games. You have points that unlock parts of the map. Then you shows how you reveal different points to find different items and challenges and so on and so forth. But I think this is their first time as a company trying to be more humorous than more action oriented and more serious. And it's worked. There are so many times where they try to mix that serious in Far Cry and Assassin's Creed and try to throw little witty things in there.
I remember in Far Cry,
it was a little bit more.
Yeah, there was a couple witty things in Far Cry.
Yeah, like Pagan Min in Far Cry 4.
Yeah.
They tried to make him a more comical bad guy to interact with, and it always just kind of felt off. And then I know Far Cry 5, I didn't really get to play that one.
Neither did I.
They went off the rails with all the Southern style Montana-based cult stuff, and somebody
that was Audrey. Distraction. What's up? Yeah. Continue, James.
But yeah, I think they did a good thing in making this more of a light-hearted approach to Greek mythology. Odyssey covered Greek stuff, it's all out there. They tried to do the accuracy with the mix of fantasy on that. So I think Immortals Phoenix Rising is really promising in just the fact that it's more fun. Like, you just go in, you have a fun time. You're not expecting a super duper serious story, while there is an underlying theme and adversity for the hero to overcome. Distraction. But yeah, I think it's pretty promising. I think it's going to turn out really well, and I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen with it.
I've watched you play a little bit of it. So, yeah, like, seeing you play it, it reminds me of, and I hate to compare it to stuff like that, but, like, I look at Godfall and I look at that. They have very similar art styles and things like that. So, I feel like those people that kind of love that cartoony, I don't even know if I want to say cartoony, kind of like 3D model cartoony art styles, I think you guys are going to really enjoy this game. It releases on December 3rd, correct?
Yeah, it releases on December 3rd.
So you guys can go pick that up.
Yeah, I think it's also coming to the next gens for that as well. So that's some pretty good hype for those people who are lucky enough to own the next gens.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. You know how long I've waited on Walmart's website to get one.
Right.
Another big hit in gaming news is Red Dead Redemption has got they finally broke away from a little bit more single player and just released RDO as its own separate thing now. Red Dead Online is its own thing that you can download.
So hype on that is, I think until mid-February, it will be $5 for the online mode on Steam.
I know James has been wanting me to get that.
On sale. Yeah, I have some pretty steady groups going with that right now, and we're having a lot of fun. They've cleaned up a lot of things. It's notorious for Rockstar Games to have hackers and stuff, but I think they've dwindled it down, and we're going to see a lot of cool things coming up on it. So I'm excited to see Tanner coming on it. It's going to be hype.
He's like, wait, what? I don't have a PC yet.
I'll still be playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I love Red Dead Redemption 2.
Is they got crossplay in that yet?
No, there's no crossplay at this juncture, but I think Rockstar Games just probably has too much of a complicated code.
Because I have Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4. That's why I'm wondering.
And that's the thing is, like, I read it and like everyone was getting pissed at Rockstar at like, oh, you're going just more online based than your story mode. Like, it's Rockstar. What'd you expect? Like, have you not seen GTA 5?
I was gonna say.
the game
they
is
brand
going
GTA
on.
as GTA Online now, in like
Yeah,
all of their
literally,
brandings when you
yeah.
buy it.
It's
Well,
like,
now,
ooh,
like-
GTA Online. Like, not GTA 5, GTA Online.
But like,
Yeah.
that's
With a
my
5 next to it.
That's my issue with it is, like, you've seen what, like, GTA did with GTA 5 with all the online and everything with it. Like,
It is going to be on
it
its
was on-
third gen of console.
yeah, and that's basically what I was about to say. Like, it was on PS3, it was on PS4, and now it's on PS5, as well as all
Yeah.
the Xboxes and everything. Like, why are you so surprised and why are you so mad that Rockstar is doing this, basically?
Well, as someone who enjoys the Rockstar single player experience, I can kind of not 100% see why they get so frustrated, because the single player stuff is really beautiful. Like, those worlds are the most lived in open worlds you can play on any video game.
You can
and
make literally yourself and just kind of go off into your own world. And I know a lot of people really do like that. A lot of people do
Yeah.
role play, but it's online. They do the role play servers online. And I watch videos on that, and that's awesome what they can do with it.
Yeah, 5M for GTA is like, they turn the most mundane into like this super interesting thing to do. Like, you
I
can be
know.
I've seen streams where people have done 8 hours of being a garbage collector. Like, they legit sit 8 hours and they do garbage collection around San Andreas, and it just blows my mind how like something like that can just, keep people interested.
James, role play, Red Dead Redemption Online, garbage day.
Yeah, go get them tumbleweeds.
But another big announcement in gaming is who is ready for Cyberpunk. I know that is that's getting pushed out here soon. I think is it this week or next week?
It should be on the 10th, which is
Next week.
Yeah, it should be next Thursday.
All right, so make sure y'all got your pre-orders in, because if you didn't, that shit about to sell out quick, because everyone is hyped for that. I know I'm hyped for it, so hopefully when I get to play it, I can give you guys a little bit more of a in-depth review. But so far, kind of base knowledge of it, it's going to be a beautiful game. Hopefully they don't screw it up.
Yeah.
Keyword.
I mean, they've taken enough time as it is to just release it. Like, it was supposed to be a 2019 game, then it somehow ended up being
Damn near
Q1 of
2021.
2020. Yeah. And they're actually going to like release details on some sort of multiplayer mode as well. So that's going to be
Ooh.
really interesting to see. But they're keeping it under wraps, which is like the big thing all the gaming sites are covering, is that they're keeping it under wraps until they actually release the game and people see the product that they've been waiting to see and that they've been, throwing shade at just to, actually get their hands on. So they're holding back on all that. And I really respect too that they didn't go the DLC editions of the game or raise it up
Special
with, like, PS5
editions or
prices.
whatever. The
Like,
only
they
thing
have
I
a
will
novelty
accept,
edition with
Mhm.
Keanu Reeves and stuff, statue, but they didn't do like a standard edition, ultimate whatever.
edition. But like the thing is, and I will say this, I know because I know Call of Duty does this, or did this. I don't know if it's on previous gen like PS4, Xbox One X, whatever, but Call of Duty, they did that extra $10 to be able to get it on the next gen of consoles when you get it. And I think that is a very respectable thing to do, very awesome way to do, because either way you're making money and people don't have to spend another $60 when they upgrade to a new console.
Which is the scary thing too, because the rumor mill runs that it's going to go up to $79.99 for standard editions of games on these next gens.
But I mean, going back, you got to think about olden days, how much it was for a game, and then think of inflation.
Yeah, because dude, it was awesome back in the day to get a game for $49. Like, it was still
I know.
high, but like
$50
gets you that brand new game, man.
Brand new SNES, baby. Pop that baby. But I mean, James, unless you got any more games that you kind of thinking on covering,
Yeah, I don't know right now. I mean, I'm just mainly waiting on that Cyberpunk. Like, it's so close and around the corner. I kind of just have that tunnel vision going in it now. Like, I'm probably going to do some more Cold War. I'm going to cover Immortals as much as I can. And
so you got to go back to work.
right now. Yeah.
Y'all been playing Stream Raiders a lot lately.
Oh yeah, that's been around, but me and James have just started kind of getting into Stream Raiders, and
Yeah.
It's an awesome
still,
way.
Yeah, it's been around, but like, I mean, it's still built the community and everything.
yeah. So if you guys are ever wanted to, I know you guys are on YouTube and stuff like that, but if you guys ever wanted to, come along on the Twitch. Both me and James Autumn stream on Twitch. I'll be blinking both of our Twitches down below. Shark doesn't really stream on Twitch, but also, I don't know. You don't stream at all, but me and James, we run stream radios throughout our stream and stuff like that. So if you guys want to get involved with that, I'll put a link to Mr. Autumn stream right there above me. And I'll also put my link down below as well. So make sure you guys check in that description, baby, and come join us when we're live. I know James will be live probably later tonight after this podcast. So make sure you guys go say hi to him. But I think that about wraps it up for this one. A little bit of a shorter one. But I do hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys have any suggestions of what we should talk about next week, make sure you guys put them down in the comments below. Make sure you guys slap that like button. And if you guys really enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with that little bell so then you guys get notified every time a new Vanguard Nightly News or the random appearance of a VG actual gameplay on the Vengeance Gaming channel. Probably should do some of those.
What?
I know, right? But, yo, guys, I hope you guys did all enjoy this video. And we will catch you guys all next week on another episode of Vanguard Nightly News. Peace.